judge. Dread may be the law, but I am the judge. And today we're going to try something different. I've been doing some investigations about this, the Judge Dredd arcade game. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Judge. Downloading of ROMs, that's illegal. It's against the law. What are you doing? No. This was a prototype. This was never actually released. So as part of my investigation, I've had to go in and use some of the grid of the information networks to locate this prototype in order to give you a proper verdict. So what we're going to do is we're going to coin up and we're going to try out the Judge Dredd arcade game. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, Midway Games worked on this title back in 1993, but it was never officially released. The success of the classic Terminator 2 gun game inspired Midway to pursue those other licenses to turn into arcade machines, and with a Sylvester Stallone movie coming out, they leaped at the chance to work on a Judge Dredd title. I really like this intro, depicting a dispatcher preparing to contact Dredd and inform him of his assignment. We get a brief summary explaining the world of Mega City 1, as well as a decent flavor of the arcade game we're about to play. As with a lot of early 90s arcade machines, this game requires 2 coins to begin.
Attention, Judge Dredd.
Our dispatcher has advised us we are in pursuit of the Angel Gang. These are the controls. They're actually straight off a narc machine. And while they may have felt right on a real arcade control panel, I have to use this other interface which doesn't really work. I'll discuss that later.
In Mega City 1, I am the law.
Oh, that weird green glow you saw at the start? That's just the game's way of telling you, at first, you are invincible, so you have a fighting chance against the perps at the beginning of the stage.
Crime doesn't pay.
There, I just picked up a shield badge, which makes me invincible again for a short time.
Judge Dredd! My Grud!
You'll notice the civilian in the background is walking a pet that looks a lot like Goro from Mortal Kombat. The Midway are clearly advertising their most popular franchise, and I admit the digitized photo style of Dredd and the other characters in this game are noticeably similar to Mortal Kombat.
Crime doesn't pay.
One interesting element of the gameplay is how you control. You can move Dredd toward and away from the camera. That use of the third dimension is unique in this game. And it's not just walking, you can actually kick and punch perps in those directions as well. Aha! There's Fink from the Angel Gang. He's retreating into the sewers.
Fink, you're a rat. Onward and downward.
Let's get after him.
Meaningless rats.
Of course, the sewers of Mega City 1 are a dangerous place, filled with giant monster rats, and we can take them out. Oh, well, maybe I spoke too soon.
What brings you down to the sewers? Execution of justice.
Think Angel has this nasty trick of rolling himself into a ball. Remember, there is a button for jumping, so clearly all I need to do is leap over him when he's attacking this way, but I admit it's a little tricky to pull it off correctly.
Judge Dredd!
Let's see if a flashbang will make any difference. I will say, I do like the going, gone indicator at the bottom of the screen to indicate how much health Fink has left. It's a nice touch. But you will notice I tend to just jump around a lot and kick and punch randomly. These controls are just not very good. In fact, this arcade game is guilty of a lot of titles of the era where the best technique seems to be just spam all the attack buttons and hope you do damage.
I like the pain, Judge.
Yeah, Fink is defeated. A catch wagon will arrive to take him to the cubes. We need to get back to the streets to find the other members of the Angel Gang.
Judge Dredd! You're next, punk.
Oh yeah, those helmets that keep dropping, those are 1-up extra lives.
Crime doesn't pay. Judge Dredd!
It's really a shame this game was never released. I love the look of the city in the background and the overall feel of Mega City 1. Midway nailed it.
You're next.
You'll notice the sound is not great though. He just said "you're next" a couple of times in a row. Programmers themselves say they have no idea how this incomplete ROM ever got out, but the game is really only about 90% playable.
Judge Dredd! Mike, run!
4 cabinets were actually built, and the game code within them was more complete than this prototype.
Surrender, creep.
Well, that's game over. I think before I pass judgment, I should see what a 2-player game looks like. Are you gonna have like a weird red-colored judge for player 2 or something?
Judge Dredd! Judge Dredd!
Oh, okay. Player 2 has yellow gloves and pads. I get it. The arcade machine would originally have also allowed a 3rd player, but my interface here just doesn't have a 3rd set of controls. Overall, not a bad little prototype, but clunky. And in need of polish, but it does capture the essence of the Dredd universe, I'll say that. So what's my final verdict on the arcade game that was never actually released for Judge Dredd? I'm gonna give it 6 months in the ISO cubes, because it is bad, but I only want to give it a pretty lenient sentence because I think there's a lot that could have worked well here. As I mentioned, I really like how Mega City 1 is depicted. I love the fact that the Angel Gang is there for Dredd to take on. It's looking about right, and it could have been something. And that's the other reason I'm giving it a lenient sentence. Although it's a bad game, a Judge Dredd arcade game, that would have been amazing and very much something that I would have recommended people to use, especially for the recruiting side of things. However, it never happened, so all we have is this prototype. It is bad though, so 6 months in the ISO cubes. I think that's fair. Alright, well until next time, stay out of trouble.